I'm sure it will be as riveting as yesterday. I'm sure. We may not even see the jury. But right now, they should be deliberating. Let's see what happens. I don't think it's going to take them more than a few days. I think they'll be done by tomorrow. I could be wrong, but I think so. I have it sped up too.
Here to this courtroom, and Ms. Taylor, our current court reporter, is going to take possession of it. So that'll happen in the next 10 minutes or so. Can somebody, I guess I could do that, look in Odyssey and find out the date that's on the original re-indictment to put on this one? You know, when.
You will go to. Oh, oh, that's why. I picked the wrong one. Oopsie. Hang on. I hope y'all can hear me. Let's see. The only thing the jurors should get, they're going to have to go on their memory. They'll have access to the evidence. Shouldn't be watching videos or anything like that, except for that which is approved. They have to ask for it. They're not just going to have it accessible, and then whenever they feel like it. Come on, where is it? Aha. So I did miss the live stream. Okay, cool. There she is. See if it's playing on the. Yeah, it is. Good. There's no audio yet, so just hang on a minute. They'll start it.
That's the appropriate response.
Yes.
That's the appropriate response.
Yes.
Yeah, this is live. All right. Hopefully we don't get Miss Love again. Oh gosh, man, I don't know how they even put up with it.
That's the appropriate response.
Yes.
Um, I think that the confusion is when one is a predicate of
Right.
the other.
Yeah, I think that's what they're
And I
struggling with.
think the correct response is, as alleged in the indictment, that if a offense is listed as a predicate,
I mean, I'm not going to say predicate because maybe just say like if it's dependent upon or something like that.
right? Yeah. They would have to prove out every element alleged in the count, including. This is one thing.
I mean, that's already in the instructions to the jury that they have to consider each of the elements. I mean, could the response just be a referral to the jury instruction?
It could be, but it would be unbelievably unhelpful if we did that.
Well, I guess I'm still struggling with exactly what their question is. I mean, they're dependent. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's why they're asking that, I think.
Your Honor, one other thing that comes to mind is with at least the firearm count. The machine gun is removed, but there's multiple firearms in the house.
Right.
And I'm trying to find what the number was, but in our instructions we had sometimes there's multiple ways to commit
Yeah.
an offense. That specific instruction may aid them if if it's in relation to
Right, if that's what they mean. But
Yes, Your Honor.
considering that, and I can explain that they don't have to have possessed all of the guns as long as they find that they possessed one of the guns with the requisite intent or whatever, if that's what they mean.
Yes, Your Honor. And the other state's thought in regard to, I do think it's appropriate, and as each individual count, they have to evaluate on its own merits. Obviously, these counts relate with one another, but I think that principle of law is.
Well, yes, I mean, yes, they need to consider them individually and reach a verdict on each separately, but they are interrelated counts, so that's why they're asking.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, if their question is regarding the possession of marijuana issue, because that seems to be the thread that runs through these three, right?
Yeah.
The only thing they have in common. So.
In Your Honor, there was one other thought when Mr. Weinstein.
No, I guess I'm still struggling with their question. If the issue is the marijuana, then if they don't find the marijuana, well, obviously they have to find it as well.
It's easy enough to start with 58, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute.
Yeah.
You know,
But
I can
that's-
say, these are the elements, and they want to understand what intent to distribute means.
I mean, their questions seem to be more if they don't find 58, then they can't find 61.
I think so.
Yeah. And I think that would be maybe what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And then obviously 57, they have kind of two options there, as I see it.
All right. I'm going to, yes.
To make it smoother in terms of the surveillance video,
Yeah.
for the barbershop footage, there is 5 videos and really 4 angles.
Uh-huh.
One of them captures the shooting, one of them captures inside the barbershop, and then 2 of them capture the street in front of the Daniel Street itself, but doesn't capture the shooting, and one kind of faces the Texaco. And with the Texaco footage itself, there's a lot of surveillance video from the Texaco with different camera angles. I believe there's as many as 7 or more. So I have an idea in my mind. I don't want to assume which specific portions they want to watch. But for example, some of the vehicles at issue, like when they arrive, some arrive as early as 8:40 or 6:41.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave at 7:20 p.m.
Right.
And so I'm working on, there's different softwares that play those, but the state's getting in a posture to be able to play those surveillance videos. But if we have clarity, at least with the Texaco, it can be a little cumbersome to pull up the different cameras on the fly. So I just wanted to, if there's any more clarity on what specifically with the Texaco, because it captures almost 2 hours worth of footage, some of which is irrelevant for purposes of seeing suspects.
Well, I'm sure that they don't want to see a part that they never saw to begin with.
Yes, Your Honor, I agree, but there's also, there's a portion where, there's many different portions that could be relevant. Like there's a portion where Mr. Kendrick walks in the store. There's a portion where different vehicles leave or arrive that captures 50 minutes worth of footage. And so there may be very specific events, so to speak, or times of that they want to watch. But I just wanted to highlight that for the court.
So would the idea be to cue each of them up, the portions that were shown before, and say, do you want to watch this? Well, we can do that.
Yes, Your Honor. Or if they were able to describe an event or something that came up in closing or something to orient what they want to watch. Like we want to see when the Pontiac arrives, or we want to see when, and they may not be able to give that clarity, but I just wanted to highlight that because it may make it more efficient when we publish it.
Ideas on that?
I think if we just asked in a non-leading way, what portion of each, because the same thing, my understanding, and maybe I'm wrong, in the letter, in the note, they said something about McDaniel Street.
Right. It said the drive-by shooting. I mean, that one we know what they mean, right? And the Texaco Northside McDaniel Street.
So I think if they, I believe I know what camera they want to see from outside the barbershop, even with the barber.
That's why outside. On the camera, but pointing out the forensic, going high. It's not possible.
With the Texaco, though, I'm not sure which one they mean because there's so many different cameras at the Texaco. With the McDaniel Street barbershop, I'm pretty
Well, I don't
confident.
think it's the one from inside the barbershop.
No, there are 2 outside the barbershop. So, but I think it's probably the one that shows the actual shooting, I'm guessing.
Well, we can start with that one,
Yeah.
and then say, is that the one? There's another one. Would you like to see that one too? And then we'll say yes, honestly, but
That's fine with that, with
Yeah.
the barbershop. But with the Texaco,
Right.
there's so many options. I think we have to ask them what they specifically want to see. I mean,
do y'all want to put a description of each of them together, and we can send it out and say, circle the one or ones you want to see? I mean, I don't know how else to,
yeah, because there's kind of an
I
inside
mean,
Texaco and an
describe
outside
what you want to
Texaco.
see seems,
Yeah. I mean, what do you think about the Texaco? No, the Texaco there's multiple insides. Maybe there are multiple insides in the Texaco. Well, we could just ask them, do they want to see the inside of the Texaco or the outside of the Texaco?
They must be wanting to view, obviously, the Texaco shooting. They're wanting to get the cameras and see inside. I'm guessing they want to see if he's getting out of the car and going in, or they're trying to connect the dots, which is interesting that they're already on that portion of the trial. So either they've blown through the rest, or they don't care about it. They've already made a decision. That's, wow. Maybe we will get a verdict sooner than later.
okay, I mean, that much we can do.
Yeah. Can I jump back to where the 57, 58, 61?
In a second, Sergeant Brown, can you go ask them to let us know whether the video from the Texaco they want to see is the interior or the exterior? And if they can give us any more detail about what they want to see?
Your Honor, this might help. I'm not certain, but they're probably talking about something being chosen. And so if there's a point of reference, like right by.
Well, if they've just asked the question that I asked you to ask them.
Okay.
If they want to clarify further, that way they can.
Okay.
You don't want us talking while
I
the jury
understand.
door is open. Okay.
57, I think I misspoke on 57 where I said there were two ways. Rereading 57, count 57. It looks like without the possession of the marijuana, they can't do 57, 58, or 61. So that may be what they're referring to. Because of the possession of a firearm during commission of a felony in 57 requires 58 and 61, which is the marijuana again. So that may be what they're talking about with 57, 58, and 61. Is it,
Well, I'll be sick.
is it
Well, I'll be.
the appropriate response?
Yes.
I think that the confusion is when one is a predicate of
Right.
the other.
Yeah, I think that's it.
And I think the correct response is, as alleged in the indictment, if a offense list is a predicate,
I'm not going to say predicate because
I think this is.
you need to say like if it's dependent upon or something like that.
right? Yeah, they would have to prove every element alleged in the count, including
Why can't I get this to work? Let me try this again. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, y'all. This doesn't have any issues with the feed. I don't understand why. It's fine before. Now what? I'm going to say it again. Right. Yeah, there we go. Wait. All right, hang on. Let's just there we go. Now, what is it?
Find
I'm sorry.
the marijuana. Well, obviously they have to find
I mean,
as well.
it's easy enough to start with 58, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute.
Yeah.
You know,
If
I can
that's
say these are the elements, and they want to understand what intent to distribute means. Um,
I mean, does their question seem to be more if they don't find 58, then they can't find 61?
I think so.
Yeah. And I think that would be maybe what they're looking at.
Yeah.
And then obviously 57, they have kind of two options there, as I see it.
All right. I'm gonna. Yes.
So they make it smoother in terms of the surveillance videos.
Yeah.
For the barbershop footage, there is 5 videos and really 4 angles.
Uh-huh.
One of them captures the shooting, one of them captures inside the barbershop, and then 2 of them capture the street in front of McDaniel Street itself, but doesn't capture the shooting, and one kind of faces the Texaco. And with the Texaco footage itself, there's a lot of surveillance video from the Texaco with different camera angles. I believe there's as many as 7 or more. So I have an idea in my mind. I don't want to assume which specific portions they want to watch. But for example, some of the vehicles at issue, like when they arrive, some arrive as early
Okay,
as
there we go.
8:40
That's better.
or
That's
6:41.
much better.
Mm-hmm.
And then they leave at 7:20 p.m. And so I'm working on. There's different softwares that play those, but the state's getting in a posture to be able to play those surveillance videos. But if we have clarity, at least with the Texaco, it can be a little cumbersome to pull up the different cameras on the fly. So I just wanted to, if there's any more clarity on what specifically with the Texaco, because it captures almost 2 hours worth of footage, some of which is irrelevant for purposes of you don't see any suspects.
Well, I'm sure that they don't want to see a part that they never saw.
They don't want to see the whole
begin
damn
with.
trial again.
Yes, Your Honor, I
No, they
agree,
don't
but
wanna
there's
see that.
also,
No,
there's
they don't
a
wanna
portion
see all
where
that.
there's many different portions that could be
Oh,
relevant.
ain't nobody business,
Like there's a
got no
portion
business
where
seeing it.
Mr.
They wanna
Kendrick
go
walks in the
home.
store. There's a portion where different vehicles
The
leave or
jury's like,
arrive
man,
that
please let
captures
us go home.
50
Please.
minutes worth of footage. And so there may be very specific events, so to speak, or times of that they want to watch. So I
Oh,
just
shut
wanted to
up, white
highlight
boy.
that for the court.
Don't stand up. No. Oh, God.
And
So would the idea be to queue each of them up, the portions that were shown before, and say,
Yeah.
do you want to watch this? Then we could do that.
Yes, Your Honor. Or if they were able to describe an event or something that came up in closing or something to orient what they want to
Jury,
watch, like when the
they must
Pontiac
be wanting
arrives,
to
or
see
we want to
this
see
because they've
when,
gotten through
and they may not be
everything
able to
else.
give that clarity.
I
But
can't imagine them getting through
I just
most
wanted
of the
to highlight
trial
that
all
because
the
it
way
may
to the
make it more
Texaco
efficient
shooting in
when
3
publishing.
hours. I just can't see that,
Ideas
but
on that?
that's where they're
I
at.
think we just
They
asked
want to see who
in
was
a non-leading way,
on video.
what
I don't think it shows
portion
anything
of
other
each,
than a
because the
car.
same thing, my
I don't think they
understanding,
have
maybe I'm
anything
wrong,
on video.
in the
I
letter,
don't
in
remember
the
them
note,
showing
they
video.
said something
Any of
about
the
McDaniel
defendants was
Street.
on video.
Right, it
So-
said
In any shooting.
the drive-by shooting, I mean, that one we know what they
Yeah,
mean,
that's
right?
what they're wanting.
And the Texaco Northside McDaniel Street.
So
Okay.
I think
McDaniel.
if they, I
Daniel,
believe,
that's
I know
downtown.
what camera they want to see
Trying to
from
remember.
outside the
I
barber
grew up
shop, even
in
with
Atlanta.
the
I can't
barber shop,
remember
we
that.
had
I think I remember seeing that
4, I
exit.
think, different cameras.
So
If we just
if,
get clear.
if
I know
everybody
Mechanicsville's
thinks
over by
they know which of each
Vine
it
City, I
is,
think.
and y'all agree, then we
Over
can
near
just
the
start
old
with those and say,
Fulton
is
County
this the one
State.
you mean, or is there
But
another
on the
one?
west side of the
with the
connector,
Texaco, though, I'm not
75,
sure
85.
which one they mean because there's so many different Texaco. With the McDaniel Street barber shop, I'm pretty
Well, I
confident.
don't think it's
Let's
the
see
one
if I
from
can get a
inside the
map.
barber shop.
That's what
No, not,
That
but
one
there's
would be
two
helpful.
outside the barber shop. So, but I think it's probably the one that shows the actual shooting. I'm guessing.
Well, we can start with that one.
Yeah.
And then say, is that the one? There's another one. Would you like to see
Right.
that one too? And they probably will say yes,
That's-
honestly, but
That's fine with that, with the
Yeah.
barber shop, but with the Texaco,
Right.
there's so many options. I think we have to ask them what they specifically want to see. I mean,
what are the, I mean, do y'all want to put a description of each of them together and we can send it out and say, circle the one or ones you want to see? I mean, I don't know how else to,
Let me do, let's see, let's share this. Let's see here. Let's at least get an idea of where they're talking about. Okay, there's McDaniel and Northside here. Okay, that is downtown. That's Midtown. Or I think it's on the east side of it. Let's see. I can't back out. If y'all have ever lived or been there, here's Mechanicsville. Okay, here's where the old Fulton County Stadium Turner Field is. So this would be going south on 75 85 connector. This would be going north, obviously. This is I-20 going east to west. So, excuse me, this would be Northside Drive, and it goes, yeah, Vine City. It's over near Vine City. This is going towards Alabama. All right. And then we've got Mechanicsville here in this little pocket. So north side goes all the way up. Let me see here. I can't get it to. Come on. Here we go. This should go all the way up to north side. Yeah. See how it keeps going up farther, farther, farther. Goes all the way up where the connector splits. And then it should. Highway 41. Okay. There we go. Okay. Where's that drive? Okay. Yep. And then it goes all the way up back to 285 into Cobb County. So that's at least now you know where it's at. Stop that. Let's go to here. And let's share screen. Vertical watch. There we go.
with 57, 58,
And
61.
make sure my audios are good. External mic. Yep. I'm
Is
good.
the possession of marijuana with intent to distribute? Because wasn't there also a question regarding intent that came to us?
Yeah.
So that should be
they
a little bit better
originally
microphone volume.
said, well, no, I'm sorry. On their second one, they said, please clarify the wording intent to distribute and underline the word intent. So I'm looking for where I explained intent to distribute and intent right now, and we'll see.
Sorry, y'all. I must either have COVID or some other crap. It's been like day 4 of it. It's horrible. Ugh. Miserable. 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 No, I don't need to share that. All right. Oh, Lord. That's Miss Love. No, 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 no. She's back. She's like a bad venereal disease. She just never goes away. Ever. Ugh. Oh, I like your jacket there, Mr. Weinstein. Let's skip forward a little bit.
Of course, I think that's another one of our circular definitions that ended up in here, or recursive definitions.
So on that, I would propose to say that for, which count is it? Is that count 58 or count?
The possession with intent to distribute, Your
Yeah.
Honor? It's actually an element of
Well,
all three.
I know, but so for possession with intent to distribute means that Mr. Kendrick, frankly, if you go back to the knowledge part that I charged on page 13, knowingly and intentionally participated or helped in possessing marijuana, intending to unlawfully deliver or sell it.
Yeah, I agree that incorporates the
Okay.
proper definitions.
So the state must prove.
Your Honor.
Hang on.
Yes, sir.
Hang on. Sorry, I just need to get this down and then just hold your thought. Let's turn our phones off. That's one of the jurors' phones. It's in a box over here. Okay, maybe you can go figure out and like put them all on vibrate or something.
One of the jurors' phones going off. I think they're going to try to finish this before Thanksgiving. I don't think they want to go past today. I could be wrong. Unless they just can't get somebody to agree, I just don't see it happening. Come on.
All right, yes.
Part of the instructions the court had read that may be helpful is where it's page 11 and 12.
Okay.
It describes criminal intent. Intent may be shown in multiple ways. Criminal intent does not mean it starts right on the bottom of page 11. Intent is an essential element of any crime. And then I believe it continues to discuss about intent right through the middle of page 12, and then goes on to describe party to a crime. But that instruction about intent could also be beneficial, the state believes.
I mean, the most helpful part of that is it means the intent to commit the act that is prohibited by a statute, which is specifically with regard to this one, intending to unlawfully deliver or sell marijuana. I'm thinking about saying on intent to distribute, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. The state must prove that Mr. Kendrick knowingly and intentionally participated in or helped in possessing marijuana, intending to unlawfully deliver or sell it. And find out whether
What's the
that
difference of the charge? Sounds like the same charge twice.
That sounds
covers
like the
what they
right,
were asked.
that sounds like the right course to Mr. Kendrick. When you have a second, I just want to go back to 57, 58, and 61.
Sure, I mean, I know we need to
Okay.
get that.
I know,
Sounds
but
like
I
there's
don't wanna do
an
that if you're still
almost
I
an
appreciate it.
intent to distribute and then a distribution charge.
All right, yes.
Okay. Regarding their question about the
I'm surprised they didn't have him
separateness
trafficking.
and
The amount
relatedness,
of
whatever
dope
term
they
they used
found
in
at his
57,
house.
58, and 61.
Yeah.
I just think it would be, perhaps it would answer
I
their
think it's
question
more along
if
the
you
lines
went
of
back and
trafficking.
explained that possession of marijuana with intent to distribute is a required finding of each of those three, and that may help explain that.
Okay.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, when the court allows.
I'm
I
not
have a
sure if y'all
question.
can still hear me or not.
Hang on.
No, looks like my mic's dead again. Wait a minute. Do I have something? Anything? 10-4. Okay. That's weird. All of these things itch.
All right, yes, ma'am.
The court may have already answered this question.
Oh,
but
no,
I
it's
don't know
her.
whether what Mr. Atkins just referred the court to was the part about
Whoa, where'd her hair
intent may be
go?
inferred from the proven circumstances or by acts and conduct.
That woman's hair is gone. She flat out buzzed it. Y'all think she was wearing a wig? Can't. Man, that's just weird.
We're asking if they
She had hair yesterday.
can read that whole part.
This is weird. I think she buzzed it. I think she wears a wig. I do. That woman's wearing a damn wig.
Did they
Or has
did
been.
they get back with us on the video thing? Okay. Do they know to do the light? I mean, they were doing it earlier. All right. If they come on, that's not going to be very helpful. All right, let's see. Please provide the videos of the following: the gas station when.
Yep. There we go. Gas station again.
Yak was getting into the
messed up
car.
the feed.
Camera in front of the station. Y'all understand what that means? Okay, and then number 2, the drive-by shooting in front of the barber shop on McDaniel Street on Donovan Thomas.
So they're only interested
They
in
clarified that one for us too.
Judge, there are,
They must be
there are
wanting to
4
see if they can
camera
see them on camera.
angles of the drive-by shooting, so we'll be prepared to play one of them or all of them.
They're not allowed to take that back with them, so they're going to have to go and play it for them. Only that which they've asked. They don't have access to the disc.
The shots, but there.
I would think so. So let's start with that one and ask them,
that one.
is this the one you meant?
Okay.
Yes, that's the one they meant.
Yes.
So they added Mr. Weinstein. Also, please have Attorney Weinstein clarify if he said my client's watch or where is the watch regarding the
snap.
Richard.
Oh, snap. They remembered the watch. No, they know. They know. They knew about it. They heard and remembered. They ain't forgotten the damn watch. My client's 2 Richard Mille watches. You can't hide $200-something thousand worth of watches. God, that is great. I love it. They remembered. Man, they don't have any credibility with them jurors. Nah. Y'all, they have killed credibility. Good job, Mr. Weinstein. Good job. Very good job.
Where is the
from
watch?
Drake to Mr. Williams.
All right,
And
so
it
I'll
rates
just
around
answer
love
that
it.
he said, where is the watch?
Your Honor, would the court be inclined to respond that what the attorneys say is not evidence?
Yes.
And that should not be
Idea.
even a consideration,
Uh-huh.
rather than telling
Yes.
them what he said.
I mean, I'm gonna do
Yeah,
both.
she's shitting a brick right now. She don't want anything going back about those watches because it kills Viverito and the other dude who was wearing the damn thing. It kills them. It totally kills their.
I'll just say, Mr. Weinstein said the watch. However,
It
what
is
the
so
attorneys
funny.
say
I
is
love it.
not evidence.
I love it.
about
I love
Does that
it when
work?
jurors come up with this stuff and they catch on to someone's
Remember that what the attorneys
infidelity
say is
in
not
court.
evidence. Yes, sir.
That they're
Your
not
Honor,
credible. Their testimony isn't credible,
292
and they
Yankee
catch
Alpha
along
is the
with what the
shooting
attorney is trying to
barbershop surveillance
prove.
footage.
Because he did it with a
I know when the shooting happens. I
very
wanted to ask on
subtle
the record or defense counsel,
statement,
there's
which
about 8
where's my
minutes that
client's watch?
plays before the shooting
I mean,
occurs.
You didn't even have to do
Can't
it,
imagine that's
but
what they
it nailed
want.
his
I don't
credibility.
want to. I want to tell for the record,
That was
or
smart.
agree with defense counsel.
Man, that was
find a
smart.
portion we can all agree to start that video.
Okay.
Now the state's flipping out
Yeah, I
because
think
they don't know
it's
how
fine
to
start
counter it.
Okay.
a minute before.
They're going to have to
whatever.
let them know.
That's fine.
That's
Thank
what he
you.
But
said.
thank you for clarifying that, mentioning that.
You very well. Thank you.
I'm going to say, however, remember that nothing that the attorneys say is evidence.
Let me go back and hear what he said. I'm sorry, I was talking over him because I didn't stop the damn video.
Counsel, there's about 8 minutes that plays before the shooting occurs.
Can't imagine that's what they want.
I don't want to I want to tell for the record, or agree with defense counsel, find a portion we can all agree to start that video.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine to start a minute before whatever. That's fine.
Thank you.
But thank you for clarifying that, mentioning that.
You very well. Thank you.
I'm going to say, however, remember that nothing that the attorneys say is evidence.
When I type this, you're going to see on the screen Leo. Leo means law enforcement officer. That's how they refer to him. You know, Fat Fanny Fatterson took that dang those watches and they split that currency. I guarantee it. They have serial numbers. They ain't gonna be able to just go sell them anywhere. They'd have to sell them to a pawn shop, and then the pawn shop they unload it because that's gonna be reported. Should be reported back to Richard Mille if it shows up in a transaction with a actual uh, watch dealer, especially a Richard Mille dealer. It's going to get popped and tagged from Switzerland. It's going to come back as a red flag, and then it's stolen. That's just how that works. Rolex does it too. If you get a stolen Rolex, you give them the serial number, boom, it's in the system. It pops up at a jeweler or a watch dealer, bam, it's a stolen item. Then they call the police. And it doesn't matter if you bought it legally. It just doesn't matter. You may be the fifth person that owned it. And it finally catch up. This is gonna catch up. We're gonna find them watches. Trust me. No one's gonna keep that watch for decades. They're gonna turn it, flip it, sell it. They're gonna flip it, and flip it, and somebody's gonna get nailed. It'll be interesting because if that happens, we know because they've been in jail. So their best bet is to say, well, somebody came in the house and took it. You shouldn't have left it. No, the state freaking did it. One of those cops took those watches and wore it and sold it. But we'll find out. And I've had the mic muted the whole dang time. Is it me or is the screen jittering? I keep losing the feed, having to start it over and over and over. I don't get it. It's I don't get it. Just let me know in a comment box if it's just me or if you're seeing it. Let me restart what she said. Oh God, I don't want to hear what she says. I'd rather have toothpicks jammed in my eyeballs.
What the hell is she laughing about? They added. Yeah, that's funny.
I didn't say his watch. I probably said the watch. If I said his watch, that would have been I would have misspoken.
Okay. So I will just say, Mr. Weinstein did not say my client's watch. If he did, he misspoke.
I probably said, where is the watch? That was a 30th birthday
Where
gift
is
from
the
Drake
watch?
to Mr. Williams.
All right,
And a
so
great
I'll just
sentimental
answer
value.
that he said, where is the watch?
Your Honor, would the court be inclined to respond that what the attorneys say is not evidence?
Yes, that's
And that
exactly
should not be
idea.
even a consideration,
Uh-huh.
rather than telling you
Yes.
what he said?
I mean, I'll get to do both.
It was definitely the watch.
I'll just say, Mr. Weinstein said the watch. However, what the attorneys say is not evidence. How about that? Does that work?
Yes, Your Honor.
I didn't say his watch. I probably said the watch. If I said
Mr. Weinstein. Also, please have Attorney Weinstein clarify if he said my client's watch or where is the watch regarding the Richard Milley watch, which is in no way, I mean, it's a total red herring. And good for you for distracting them, but that is not an element of anything they're supposed to be considering.
Your Honor,
I don't believe that was a red herring, and it went to the credibility of law enforcement
That's
and their
true,
witnesses.
but-
So I would disagree with that characterization
Anyway,
of the
what
court.
did you say?
I said, I'm sorry, I didn't say his watch. I probably said the watch. If I said his watch, that would have been I would have misspoken.
Okay. So I will just say, Mr. Weinstein did not say my client's watch. If he did, he misspoke.
I probably said, where is the watch? That was a 30th birthday
Where
gift
is the
from Drake
watch?
to Mr. Williams.
All right,
And a
so
great
I'll just
sentimental
answer
value.
that he said, where is the watch?
Your Honor, would the court be inclined to respond that what the attorneys say is not evidence?
Yes, that's
And that
exactly
should not be
idea.
even a consideration,
Uh-huh.
rather than telling you
Yes.
what he said.
I mean, I'll get to do both.
It was definitely the watch.
I'll just say, Mr. Weinstein said the watch. However, what the attorneys say is not evidence. How about that? Does that work?
Yes, Your Honor.
Remember that what the attorneys say is not evidence. Yes, sir.
Your Honor, 292 Yankee Alpha is the shooting barbershop surveillance footage. I know when the shooting happens. I wanted to ask on the record or defense counsel, there is about 8 minutes that plays before the shooting occurs.
Can't imagine that's what they want.
I don't want to just, I want to tell, just for the record, or agree with defense counsel, find a portion we can all agree to start that video.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's fine to start a minute before, whatever. That's fine.
Thank you.
But thank you for clarifying that, mentioning that.
You're very well. Thank you.
I'm going to say, however, remember that nothing that the attorneys say is evidence.
Sorry, my background ain't as fancy as everyone else's. My daughter's waving to me, so.
All right. How about after giving them the definition or the explanation of possession with intent to distribute, moving on to whether you need to group counts 57, 58, and 61 individually or separately, you need to consider them individually and reach a verdict as to each separately. But possession of marijuana with intent to distribute would need to be proven for count 58, count 61, and count 57. And I'm putting them in that order because that's kind of the order that 58 is possession with intent to distribute. 61 is possession of the gun because while you're committing that crime. And then 61 is if you're committing that crime, are you then potentially committing gang activity?
Yeah, I understand. That's a far more natural order than they appear in the indictment. So.
All right. All right. Are we satisfied then with the answers? And then we'll just have them. I think I'll have them watch the videos, and then answer their questions. Because that way, if there's any follow up, they can let us know that. All right. Yes.
So, Your Honor, the intent is to play the Texaco footage first?
Yeah.
And then will they tell us when they want us to stop? Because they're at the Texaco for about 36 minutes. So what?
Do y'all know when you intend to start? I mean, did we watch 36 minutes?
It was all introduced.
Okay.
I think they requested a very specific part of that Texaco.
Yeah.
Did they mention entering a car?
The gas station when Yak was getting into the car, camera in front of the station. So I think we start there.
Yeah.
And then
When he was getting.
I'll just,
Into the
that's what
car.
it says, when Yak was getting into the car. So, I mean, do a little bit that leads up and a little bit afterwards.
Yeah, let's
And
just play the portion
if
that
it's
they're-
any more than that, I'll just say, did that cover what you wanted?
Times. So do we need
Well,
the
then
last time?
play each time he gets in the car, I guess.
Okay, so that's going to be on camera 10, just for the record.
Okay.
And I'm gonna, if the court will give me 1 minute, I'm gonna
Sure.
put it to the first part.
All right. Do we have the extra copies of the indictment to give them? Have we given them extra copies of the indictment at this point? Sergeant, have we? Okay, thank you. All right, let me know when you're ready and we'll have them out. Get on Zoom.
Man, Mr. Stillwell looks like he's a hard dude. He looks hard. There's no doubt about it. He's a hard looking dude. You know.
All right, and Your Honor, we have it queued up 296Y at 191633.
All right. All right, let's get the jury. It went up?
And here they come.
Okay. All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The first thing we're going to do is watch the videos that you all requested, and then I'll move on to answering the questions. All right, go ahead with the first one.
Excuse me, Your Honor, may we approach?
Yes. Do you want me to stop the video?
Yes, please.
Okay. Give me a second, Phil.
Now we've lost audio again. What's up with this? Y'all, this is not. Man, I'm sorry. This is ridiculous. I shouldn't lose audio this much. It ain't on me. That I know. Here we go.
Your Honor, for the record, we're on camera 10 at 18:44:31.
We're not sure exactly which getting into the car you meant, so we're just trying to show all of them for y'all, okay?
So, Your Honor, at this point, for the record, we're going to stop it and stop sharing and then fast forward to the next point that he gets into the car.
Okay.
We're stopping at 18:48:17.
Yeah, I'll just say for the record, I do have Tourette's, so if you hear noises or anything, just please ignore it. I ain't like that girl that was on Cuomo's show where she just sat there and started cussing. That was funny, I have to admit. But it ain't indicative. It's not the standard. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, though, during court proceedings. It's really difficult. I usually wear these little vibrating wristbands that short circuit my body's ability to handle neurological
We're fast forwarding now to 19:15:25 on
content,
camera
and then
10.
it short circuits my brain to where I don't have it. But I don't use them at home. So here's the Texaco. Is that Texaco? That's what it looked like.
So that was the second time he got in the car. Now we're going to fast forward to the next time he gets in the car,
I mean, he got in the car. I didn't see nothing. Let's watch that again.
which will be
That
at
don't make no sense.
19:50. So that was
Wait a
the second time he got in the car. Now we're going to
I see it on her computer right there.
We're fast forwarding now to 19:15:25 on camera 10. So that was the second time he got in the car. Now we're going to fast forward to the next time he gets in the car. Which will be at 19:15:52. Fast forwarding to that.
All right, did that satisfy what y'all wanted to see on
No,
that?
that's not the last
Oh,
time he got in
okay,
the car.
all right, sorry.
We're fast forwarding.
Sorry, thought y'all said 3 times.
So we're
Sorry,
now
that was my kid.
fast forwarding to
She always brings a smile to my
19,
face.
17, and 10.
He's awesome. She's 8, going on 15. Y'all know what that's like. Hey, look, you can't tell it's some unknown black male getting into a piece of crap Pontiac. What it looks
Those
like.
are the times that he.
Does that satisfy what y'all wanted to see? Y'all are nodding yes. Okay, all right. Now we'll move on to the
That didn't look like anybody we
And for the
talked
record,
about in this
it's
trial.
292 Yankee Alpha, and we're starting at 8 minutes and 22 seconds of that exhibit. Your Honor, may you inquire if there's any more of this video? I'm stopping for the record at 9 minutes and 14 seconds.
All right, does that satisfy what y'all wanted to see on that, or is there a different angle or more that you want to see? That's good. Okay, that's what they wanted to see. All right, moving on. Sorry. Good. Okay. All right, moving on to the questions. Mr. Weinstein said the watch. However, remember that nothing that the attorneys say is evidence. All right, moving on to the next couple of questions.
No, talking about the watch. Max over there smirking. He knows he's up.
All right, on count 58, possession of marijuana with intent to distribute, the state must prove that Mr. Kendrick knowingly and intentionally participated in or helped in possessing marijuana, intending to unlawfully deliver or sell it. Does that cover what y'all are asking with regard to that one? Yes, okay. All right. Moving on to whether you need to group counts 57, 58, and 61 individually or separately. You will need to consider them individually and reach a verdict as to each of them separately, but possession of marijuana with intent to distribute would need to be proven for count 58, count 61, and count 57. Does that cover what y'all wanted to? Okay. All right, then I will excuse y'all to continue deliberations. Thank you. All right, And we'll be in recess until we hear from them again. Not for the record, but would it work for, this is not for the record, I'm just asking you as the cameraman, would it work for
Wonderful recess. Yeah, we'll just be waiting. That's great. Lord, they still ain't back. Mm. Excuse me. Ah, man, excuse me. That's that was a little loud. And now we just wait. Awesome. I love waiting. It's so fun. Oh, it's so fun. Well, I wish there was a chat. That'd be great. So I could at least have something to do while we're just sitting. Almost an hour 4. Yep, this is going to be a very fun experience here. We're going to get tired. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like this may be a while. Man. Lord mercy. I was hoping we were going to be done. Or at least keep them in the courtroom. Let's see if we can't fast forward here. Before I cut off here for a while. Hang on a second. Yep. Looks like that's it. All right. Well, we'll see how it goes. And now I'll catch back up with y'all later. We'll go live again. 5.5 hours in. So we'll see what happens. See y'all then. Bye for now.